Yeah, Mike Malone said he needed to see the film first. Well, I've had the benefit of seeing the film several times, so I can save him some trouble right now. And before we show it, I just want to set it up a little bit. So they put Jokic on the out-of-bounds guy on the baseline, Rondo, because they want a tall guy to obscure his vision. In a one-point game, you could hit a cutter going to the basket to win the game. So they wanted Jokic on the ball to try to obscure vision. So that's why he's down there in the baseline. But the breakdown comes between Mason Plumlee and Jeremy Grant. Now, Plumlee clearly is on AD at the start of this play, and Grant is chest to chest with LeBron trying to deny him the basketball. So when AD breaks over to the sideline, Plumlee, for really no reason, just decides he's going to stop and try to hand him off to Grant on a switch. The problem with that is there was no screen set, so there's no reason to switch that. And Jeremy Grant obviously is locked into LeBron because he's expecting that ball is probably going to be thrown over his head toward half court. Then that's where LeBron was going to end up catching that basketball. Now, if there's a screen that takes place, if LeBron actually put a body on Mason Plumlee, then yeah, Grant could jump out and deny that pass to Anthony Davis. But Mason Plumlee was in perfect position to just ride Anthony Davis all the way over to the sideline and deny him that pass. That is far too easy for Anthony Davis to receive the basketball. Look, I know he made a great shot, but I heard Booch talking about it. He's 6'11". He's got a great stroke. He was perfectly squared up, and he was on balance. That's not a difficult shot other than the pressure for a guy like Anthony Davis. So for me, I'd have to put this on Plumlee, because Grant is saying, hey, maybe we're going to switch, but there has to be a screen that's going to take place in order to trigger the switch. That wasn't the case. Anthony Davis just ran to the sideline, and Plumlee just stopped right where LeBron was, and now Anthony Davis catches the ball. And it's ironic, the only guy that actually got a hand up was Jokic, and he was guarding the inbounder, so he covered probably 15 to 20 feet with one stride, and at least he got a contest up. But that is a massive breakdown between Plumlee and Grant, and I'm assuming it would be Plumlee. When Malone sees that film, he's going to have to ask, why would you want to switch that with no screen? Just go ahead and deny him all the way over to the sideline.
You're right, though. The irony in that the one person that actually contested the shot was Nikola Jokic on AD, who had been being bullied by him all night long, is pretty rich. That's Tim Legler's explanation of what he saw at the end. Moments ago, we heard from Rajon Rondo breaking down that last play.
I think I made eye contact with every player on my team that play. My first look was Kenny backdoor, that wasn't there. Danny backdoor, wasn't there. Brian and I looked eye to eye, but he didn't move, and then I saw already coming on the outside and just try to get it to him on time, on target. I had Joker on me, so obviously I couldn't throw a lob pass, and he did the rest.
Rachel, you played with Anthony and Malone. How much, even back then, is he wanting to get into games at this level? And how have you watched him sort of grow into being in this level of competition and making? It's probably the biggest shot of his life, isn't it?
I definitely agree. It was the biggest shot of his life so far. Watching him grow, obviously I played with him a couple years back, and to where he's come now, he's always been a dominant force for any opponent he's ever played against, but see him grow and hit a shot in this type of environment, Western Conference Final doesn't really get any bigger than this. And I'm extremely happy for him as a teammate, as a friend, and I love watching him grow.
When you know someone is such a high skill level player but just hasn't been at that level of competition?
Legs, we're watching this game, and it looked like the Lakers were in firm control. They were up by as many as 16, and then all of a sudden the Nuggets really started to make their way towards the end. What would you say is the fourth quarter trend that was the eventual upside for the Lakers to get this game?
Well, we saw the biggest one of all with the game winner, but honestly, the Lakers had three other shots that they made in that quarter that were timely threes late in the clock, and it wasn't Kuzma and it wasn't Danny Green, the guys that you're worried about. I mean, these are three enormous plays in the game. 2-point game. Here's Rondo. Great thing. Go under the screen on Rondo. That's what you're taught to do. Dare him to shoot it. Makes a step back three. Here's another situation. This one, look how deep we are into the clock. I mean, KCP catches this ball. He lets it fly with a second to go, fading away out of bounds with a hand in his face in a 2-point game. And then this one here, up 5. And again, less than 2 seconds on the clock, and that's Anthony Davis going to a step back, ironically, right from the same place that he makes the game winner. But to me, those were three big-time shots earlier in the quarter And you're talking about something that is not supposed to be the Lakers' strength. When you play this team, you know they're going to get a lot of points in the paint. You know they're going to go to the foul line a lot. You're going to hope that they don't have a big night from the three-point line. And they made 13 threes, and we just saw 4 of them that were absolutely at the end of the clock and key times in the game. The first one's to keep the lead, and then that last one to win the game. So if you're Mike Malone, man, is it going to be tough to sleep tonight knowing that despite all of that, you still had a chance with 2 seconds to go and the Lakers taking the ball out of bounds to get one stop and even this series up. It's going to be very difficult for that coaching staff to sleep tonight, particularly when they see what happened on this last play and really an inexcusable opportunity to deny him the ball that they just blundered.
To quote the late Denny Green, they let him off the hook. Tim Legler joining us here to break down what we just witnessed, Game 2 Western Conference Finals. We are still waiting for LeBron at the microphone, and as soon as he sits down, we're going to bring you his post-game live right here on Sports.
It's as crazy, especially at the end. It's Game 2. Lakers won Game 1. LeBron, he's off to a great postseason start. Just the 4th player in history with 100 field goals, 100 rebounds, and 100 assists through the first 11 games of a postseason. Jokic last year, Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, the others, and LeBron picking up where he's left off this entire playoff bubble. 47th 20-point playoff first half of his career. 27 more than the next closest, Kevin Durant.
Silver linings. I mean, this is the Western Conference Finals. So no moral victories, no silver linings. Gave ourselves a chance to win tonight. Obviously, Anthony Davis hits a big 3 to win the game at the buzzer. So we'll watch the film, see what happened on that last play. And the message is, we're down 2-0. Let's go out and win Game 3.
It's LeBron, it's Davis, and then it's just a bunch of guys. These 2 guys have to carry the team, and they do. They get 57 points, more than half the total. Lakers have been the best team at getting the lead and holding on to it in the NBA. LA is 51-0 when leading after 3. That is the best record of any team in the shot clock era as the Lakers, when Davis and James each get 25, which they did in this game, 26 LeBron and 31 for Anthony Davis, as you can see.
That's simple. Be different. We done heard all the noise over the last 48 hours, about his ability and what he can do. Some people not having him on all NBA teams and things of that nature. So, he just came out and proved why he's one of the best players in the world.
Hey, can you take us from the huddle before, and I know you didn't have time to play up with 2 seconds left, but how you get 80 in that situation and what's going through your mind as that ball's going into the air with Jokic contesting?
At the end of the day, Rajon is top 10 in assists for a reason. He made the right read. I was definitely thinking the ball was coming to me, but AD broke up and behind me, and he let it fly over top of Jokic. Actually, with Jokic being so tall, gave AD an opportunity, and it was all the way down to the last second. And when you want to work for a championship, it's never going to be easy, and you figure out a way to win games like this.
All right, and finally, LeBron, just wanted to ask you, everything's still going on off the court, the sweatshirt that you wore coming in about the More Than a Vote initiative and everything else, if you'd give us an example of what that's about. Well,
it's about getting, especially my community and communities all over the world to understand their importance in voting, educate them, enlighten them, understanding understanding that this is a big moment for us coming in November, and just understanding the power that we have to be able to create change. We talk about it, but change is not created from the sidelines. It's about being about it as well. So More to Vote is all about that, and I'm proud and happy to have so many people that joined us and helping lead this drive, helping us lead this way, and create change for the better good. And that's what it's all about. We want to, nonviolence is what it's all about. We don't want anyone to be injured. We don't want anyone to be hurt. Our condolences goes out to the officers that shot in Los Angeles. And we want justice for that, as well as we want justice for Breonna Taylor, and so on and so on. So, we don't want no violence. And we preach for the better of love and peace, and hopefully we can get that at some point in our communities, but us as a nation, because that's what's going to make us the greatest nation again. So, all peace and all love. I'm no rambling, but that's what I'm trying to preach.
All right, thanks for that, LeBron. AD's behind you, hit that game-winning three. You hit a game-winning three a few years ago in the playoffs, so he can join you in that club now.
Oh, absolutely, big time. Appreciate it, Mike.
Incredible moment there. You heard from LeBron. But it's hard to go away from Anthony Davis, as Mike said it perfectly in that question. Talk about your teammate AD. And Karani said, he different.
I mean, to say the least.
There's no other way to describe it.
He is. He's different. He's special. And, you know, last night I was arguing with a ton of people on the national stage and just talking about, I know LeBron was upset. He is the best player on the planet.